Hey, I'm Chris Young, and I'm on Shop Talk with bdiamondleather.
Everything that happens is motivation. Everything that happens is motivation.
This is my 2007 Dodge Ram Mega Cab. It's got the 6.7 diesel in it, full air ride suspension. It's a pretty fun truck.
Now, how hard was it to get a Dodge to be this low?
You know, to be honest with you, I bought the truck
Okay.
with the suspension already done. The Dodge is one of the more difficult ones to do. Most of the trucks that are out there are typically the Chevys. Dodges, there's not a lot of people that make equipment for them, so it's very limited. The wheels are a custom built wheel from Intro.
And you just got these, right?
I did.
Yeah.
I did. I just got them. Took me 16 weeks to get the wheels themselves.
And what size are they?
They're 24 by 10s.
Dang.
So not a cheap wheel for sure. They're completely billet. But we just got actually got the truck out of paint yesterday. Removed all the dents, all the bad paint work that was on the truck, and did a full new paint job on it.
It looks really good.
Yeah, it turned out really, really good.
Who did the paint for you?
So the paint was done at Petros Customs. They're out in Far West.
Yeah.
Guy does an amazing job.
Yeah, Don was actually, he was on one of our shop talks.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. This Aiden is the one that painted this one for me. He's super meticulous when it comes to our, getting all the dents, making sure that even just the littlest one is taken care of.
And I see you have a tow hitch on. Are you still towing with it?
I do. So
nice.
This is actually, I had this truck here, and this was actually mine originally. And when I first started getting into the mini truck scene and starting to hang out with our club and everything else, my wife started coming along with me, and she fell in love with it. And so we bought her this red S10 over here.
Okay.
She said she wanted to start doing the mini truck stuff. So we bought this one for her and did some fresh paint work on it, new wheels. Bed liner was done by Scorpion Liners in Ogden. It's got a black with a red metallic flake over it.
Oh yeah, I didn't even know they could do that.
Yeah, it's super cool. So that's where mine will be going, for a custom bed liner on it as well. But the Dodge was mine originally. We bought this for my wife. My wife is not the biggest fan of the freeway.
Okay.
And so she likes to go to shows, but she doesn't like to drive on the freeway. Local streets, fine. And I said, okay, well, let's find something we can haul with. And I just happened to come across this Mega Cab. Diesel, still had the hitch, full air ride, and it'll haul a 2-car hauler behind it, no problems.
Oh, nice.
So I picked that up, and this one, when we go on long distance trips to shows and whatnot, goes behind the truck on a trailer. So, and then we gifted, my daughter is big into it too.
Okay.
We kind of made it kind of a family affair.
Yeah.
We gifted this one to my oldest daughter for her birthday last year, so we can kind of cruise as a family.
I love that.
So it's been a lot of fun.
Now, I do remember seeing this one at some car shows. So this one was originally what you were driving around.
This is the one I originally picked up. Again, I didn't do...
Oh, the swooped.
Yeah.
It's really cool, the swoop.
I didn't do the work, the suspension work myself. This one I didn't have to worry about any paint work on it. This one's got a full custom interior. I've got to just enjoy it. I don't have the space or the time to do what it takes to build one of these trucks.
Yep.
At least fully. And so, and I'm not the type of person that is typically patient. So I like to enjoy stuff immediately. So I picked this one up. Like I said, then my wife fell in love. We bought this one. It had a few things that needed to be done to it when we bought it. Of course, none of them, even as complete as they are ever 100% right.
Amen.
So we did the work to this one. Last winter, we tore the suspension out of the Dakota and completely redid the air ride on it. New bags, new controller, compressor.
So, what got you into cars?
Kind of always been into cars. My dad took me to my first kind of auto expo when I was like 7 or 8, and
okay.
I just got hooked on it. It was one of those, you know, international auto expos, so it was just kind of mostly stock cars. But, you know, they had Ferraris there and some Porsches, and I just kind of fell in love with the car scene at that point.
Now, have you done mostly like mini trucks and full-size trucks, or have you done all kinds of things?
I've done quite a bit of everything a little bit. I've done, you know, some JDM stuff. My first car was actually a Toyota Celica.
Okay.
And then from there I went to a Honda Civic. After that I got into a WRX, and it was a completely built car. And it was a super fun car.
Yeah.
And then you know, when I was first married, we were into that kind of stuff, and my wife got pregnant, and I thought, well, it might be time to get something a little more family practical. So I kind of jumped out of that into a Jeep Grand Cherokee, and then my dad got into Mercedes.
Okay.
And he let me drive his E-Class that he had, and I fell in love with it, so I ended up taking a deep dive into Mercedes for quite a few years.
Oh, nice. Like, were you just driving Mercedes because they're fancy, or were you like fixing them up, souping them up? What were you doing?
So, I mean, it was just not necessarily because it was fancy. I mean, they're fun cars to drive. I love the look of them.
Okay.
In particular, the 97 to 2002s, they still kind of had that bug eye look.
Yeah.
Like the WRX, because I loved my WRX.
Oh, yeah, the headlights are really like a oblong oval shape, right?
Yeah, so, you know, I really liked the way they rode. I liked the fact that, you know, they had V8s. Mm-hmm. So, obviously 6 cylinders as well, but the one I ended up purchasing had a V8 in it, so V8 all-wheel drive, which made it great around here in the winter. Mm-hmm. So they did that for a little bit, and then I took a little bit deeper of a dive into Mercedes and the AMG world, which is their performance line. Okay. And ended up buying myself a 2004 E55 AMG, and those came with a 5.4 liter supercharged V8.
It's pretty quick.
Yeah, very fast. Very fast. Yeah, they were actually, people say that car was kind of the car that started the horsepower wars in the early part of the 2000s.
Yeah. Now, with the, I mean, is there more aftermarket stuff for like a Mercedes, or is there more aftermarket stuff for Mercedes AMG?
It's kind of sixes, to be honest with you. I mean, as far as performance wise goes, most of your performance stuff is going to be for AMG. Mm-hmm. But as far as like visual upgrades and stuff, all the cars are the same, right? So a lot of the stuff that they build is interchangeable with that particular generation.
Yeah, that's pretty rad.
So headlights, tail lights, not a whole lot of body kits out there, but the E55 didn't need one. It looked great, completely stock. I mean, I did some carbon fiber balances on it that just to kind of give it a little bit extra. Yeah. You know.
Now, do you have pictures of your old E35?
My E55? Yeah, I do.
E55, you said?
I do.
Okay. Well, we will post, I'll have him send that over, and we'll post it right here so that you guys can see what we're talking about. Because I'm not too familiar with Mercedes, so I'm thinking the 4-door round headlight, oval headlight Mercedes. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Is that right?
Kind of, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
so there wasn't a huge change in the headlight style from my 2001 E430 to my 2004 E55.
Okay.
I mean, it was obviously a generational change of a body style, but they still had the dual round headlights in
Yep.
the front.
Yep.
They were just, it was a little more aggressive.
Okay.
So,
And then what got you into doing mini trucks and full-size trucks?
you know, back in the day, you know, going to car shows, you know, in the 90s with my dad, he would see them, and I always loved them, and it was always one of those ones that I always wanted. And then a few years back, you know, my buddy Mike was like, hey, you know, you should come join our club and stuff. I still have a Mercedes wagon I've got just slammed on springs. It's not on air ride or anything, but I went over there and started hanging out with that. And then as you know, the little bit of time went on, I went, you know, I want a truck.
Yep.
So I ended up buying a truck. So, and then we started, you know, down that path, and, you know, my wife would come and hang out, and my kids loved doing it. And after the first kind of season, you know, show season,
Yeah.
with the trucks out and stuff, my wife was like, that's when my wife was like, I really like this. I want to get one. I was like, all right, cool. Well, let's get you one.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've been trying to get her to do car stuff with me for years. While she likes cars, she's never really wanted to take a super deep dive. But between kind of the mini trucks and the atmosphere of our club, because our club is really family oriented, you know, everybody in the club has kids, and, you know, so everything we do is very family oriented, is what made her really kind of want to take a deep dive herself.
Yeah. Now, you say club. What club are you in?
So I'm in Ikonik.
Okay.
We're, you know, based out of Utah. We do have members in Idaho, Oklahoma, Arizona, Nevada. So, but our central location is here in Utah.
What kind of club is it?
It's a, I don't want to say it's a mini truck club, because we do have cars in the club, but it's just it's a car and truck club.
Okay.
So, you know, one of our big things is highly modified suspension. That's one of the stipulations to our club, is the vehicles that come in have highly modified suspension.
Now, if somebody's wanting to be involved with Ikonik, how do they go about that?
I mean, come up to us and introduce yourselves, and
Okay.
you know, typically, you know, what we do is a lot of times we'll have you come hang out.
Advice for all the viewers of the channel.
Respect the build.
Okay.
There's a lot of people out there with a lot of different interests when it comes to vehicles.
Oh, 100%.
You know, from classics to rat rods, you know, but we're all out here for the same thing.
Yeah.
We're all here to enjoy what we built, to enjoy driving what we own. You know, and we all have the same goal in mind. It's just to enjoy it and have fun.
Yeah.
So I would say, you know, that would probably be my piece of advice. There's people can get a little chippy when it comes to a different, I guess, generation of vehicles, or different era of vehicles.
Yeah.
I don't.
No, and I mean, I have to admit that back in my 20s and 30s and some of my teens, I was pretty dead set on the vehicles I liked, and that was the only cool thing out there, and it didn't matter if it wasn't it. And the older I get, the more I just love that people are building, whether they're doing it themselves or paying someone to do it or buying it done.
Right.
I just love that people are into it. And every Friday night during the summer, we get together here in Ogden, Utah, and meet up and do a cruise. And one of the things that I've been trying to do is get all styles of things, or all styles of vehicles there. It doesn't matter if it's a bag full size truck, or a slammed van, or a mini truck, or a hot rod, or rat rod, or
JDM.
yeah, JDM, or souped up Mercedes bikes, whatever. And so it's just an eclectic group of us that all enjoy what each other's doing.
Right.
And so I think that's what the car scene just needs to be, period, for everybody.
Right. And I 100% agree with you. A lot of times, depending on the genre of vehicles that you're with, it tends to get a little segregated.
Yep.
You know, and some Honda guys don't like some of the Euro guys, and vice versa.
It's weird.
You know, we're all out here for the same thing. We're out because we're car enthusiasts.
Yep.
And we enjoy what we do.
Oh yeah. And it's funny too. I mean, in the 30 plus years that I've been doing cars, most of the time I built my own car because that's all I could afford to do.
Right.
But there's been a couple of cars that I bought that were pretty much done, and I just added my touches.
Well, and sometimes it's cheaper to buy them done.
100% nowadays, it's cheaper to buy them done, and then just add your touches to it.
100%.
Yeah. Because I don't know, it's too crazy out there, and I respect fabricators and painters and all that, but man.
Yeah, 100% respect for the people who take the time to build them.
Yep.
But I don't have the space for it.
Yeah.
And, you know, at some point, some people get tired of, you know, I built this, I did what I wanted with it, I'm done with it. You know.
That's me.
And at some point, somebody's gonna be out there that wants what you built.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, it's nice to be able to have those and to be able to enjoy it, you know. And like, I drive every single one of these things with the respect of whoever built this thing did an amazing job.
Oh yeah.
And now it's time to make it mine.
Well, one of the things that I do appreciate what you've been doing for our video is giving the credit that someone else built it. Because a lot of the times people will buy something and be like, oh yeah, I did this and this and this. And you know, they didn't. And so you've been giving that credit out, and that's a respectable thing just right there alone.
I mean, I couldn't rightfully take credit for something that I didn't build.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And while there's quite a few people out in the mini truck world, the mini truck world is still somewhat of a small community.
Okay.
You know, and a lot of these vehicles that are in the mini truck world are known. You know, so and just like a lot of us, you know, people aren't afraid to call people on their bullshit. So if you didn't build it, somebody's going to call you out.
Yep.
But you know, like I said, I don't have the space or the time and somewhat of the know-how as far as the frame stuff goes.
Yeah.
You know, I know how it works, and I know what certain things need to happen, but putting it together, the minds of those people are incredible.
They are. Oh, 100%. Yeah, there's we have in our club, we have both painters and fabricators and suspension guys, and I mean, you kind of name, we kind of have the gamut. And I'm always impressed at the artistic skill and the level of knowledge and ideas that they come up with.
Right.
You know, and actually you're talking about the president of your club. He's a mutual friend of ours, Chappie.
Correct.
And Chappie does some stuff with tubing.
Yeah.
That I don't even know how he does it.
That would blow everybody's minds.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chappie is an amazing person. You know, he's a great guy. He's a great president.
He's okay.
Yeah. So no, but his tube bending skills and his metal fabrication isn't
top notch.
Top notch.
Yeah, top notch. Matter of fact, I don't think I've ever seen anyone that could do some of the bending that he does and how it all blends and works together and how it's symmetrical. I mean, everything about it. And actually, that would be pretty rad to have him do, if I ever got a mini truck, which one day I will, to have him like do a whole back half all in some kind of crazy tubing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, just like his Bronco that he's building right now.
Yep.
The chassis on it is incredible.
That Bronco's just going to be rad in general.
Yeah, 100% all the way around. But the cool thing that he's doing with his is, you know, while it's still a slam truck, highly modified suspension, his is hydraulics.
Oh, that's right, it is.
Yeah, it's not air, it's hydraulics. and it's an amazing setup.
Well, this is part of Shop Talk where I say I roll out the red carpet for you, where you can talk about anything you want, bring up whatever you want. What's on your mind?
Oh, just have a great summer season, show season. Get out there, get out of the house, and go check out some stuff. You know, there's a lot of stuff that goes on out here in Utah. You've got the Ogden car show, 25th Street car show that's coming up next Friday.
Yep.
One of the shows that we'll be at as well is the next Saturday on June 8th, which is the Youth Impact show, the Ogden Airport show, which is a great cause to get out.
It is.
And check out and support and check out some cool vehicles while you're at it.
And more than likely obviously this truck's probably going to be there.
It will be.
I know the Violator will be there, so there'll be some pretty rad stuff out there for everyone to look at. Well, all right. Is that it?
Yeah, I mean, anybody wants to follow me on social media. My what do you call it? Your screen name?
Yep.
My screen name is the same for Instagram as it is for TikTok. I don't post as much on Instagram. I do try to do it here and there, but most of my stuff I do through TikTok.
Okay.
We do a lot of try to do a lot of sharing of when we go out cruising and other vehicles and all of that stuff.
So am I on your TikTok?
I don't know.
What the hell?
I don't know.
I have the coolest van in the state of Utah.
You do have the coolest van in the state of Utah.
Well, what's your names on there?
So it's Aired Out 801.
Aired Out 801. There'll be links in the description of the video below. Well, Chris, I appreciate you being on Shop Talk.
I appreciate you having me on here.
It's been a pleasure meeting with you. Well, I'm Byron. This is Chris, 𝐵 Diamond Leather, and you've watched Shop Talk. Have a rad day, everybody.